For most couples, discovering a new baby's on the way is a time filled with joy and sometimes tears. It's an exciting and nerve-wracking period as you go from just the two of us to acquiring the responsibility of a tiny human. However, raising a child is an incredibly rewarding experience. When Barbara Bienvenue and her boyfriend Paul discovered they were expecting their first child, shortly after beginning their relationship, they were both nervous yet excited. Even though they were still learning about each other as a couple, they knew a baby would bring them closer together. However, the couple soon discovered a huge surprise. When they thought they were going to have just one baby, Barbara revealed she was expecting 5. Yes, the couple's first-time parenting would be raising quintuplets. Talk about a challenge. However, despite the obstacles they'd need to overcome, Peter was overjoyed. He always wanted to be a father. Unfortunately, Peter's dreams of fatherhood would be shattered on the day his children were supposed to be born. Unbeknownst to him, Barbara had been harboring a dark secret and would all be revealed in a shocking moment of truth. When Barbara and Paul first met in 2013, it was love at first sight. Living in Montreal, their whirlwind romance could be best described as a fairy tale love story. They jumped all in right from the start, and despite friends and family thinking they were moving a bit too fast, they knew they'd found the person they were meant to be with. However, after just 8 weeks of dating, Barbara received some unexpected news. She was pregnant. At first, she was nervous about telling Peter, thinking he might leave since they were barely 2 months into dating. But eventually, she gathered up the courage and dropped the bombshell on him one afternoon. Thankfully, Peter was absolutely ecstatic. "We were so happy," Peter revealed. "Even my parents were so looking forward to having grandchildren." As Barbara's pregnancy progressed, she announced that she was going to be having twins. Peter was floored by the news, but also excited. However, things began to get even more exciting when an ultrasound scan revealed that Barbara would be having quintuplets. Peter was over the moon and felt so blessed. The couple decided to set up a Facebook group dedicated to Barbara's pregnancy so they could keep friends updated on her progress. Many pitched in, showering the couple with gifts that would help them when the babies arrived. However, there were some friends who were not too happy about the pregnancy news. One of Barbara's friends, Genevieve Leffler, was very suspicious of the pregnancy. Since she'd just had triplets herself, she knew quite a bit about having multiple babies, and Barbara's stories weren't adding up. She was especially surprised that it took until so late in the pregnancy for an ultrasound to reveal quintuplets. Genevieve also questioned why Barbara was not resting more. For someone having 5 babies, she was way too active and should have been on bed rest. The strain the body undergoes when pregnant with multiples is immense. Therefore, things just weren't adding up with Barbara's claims and the lifestyle she was living in the late stages of her pregnancy. Regardless of her friends' doubts, Barbara was showing all the physical signs of being pregnant. She'd suffered from intense morning sickness during the early stages of her pregnancy, and according to Peter, she had the strangest food cravings. Of course, no one could overlook her massive belly, which continued to grow by the day. How could someone question if she was pregnant? All the signs were there. Finally, after months of waiting and anticipating, Barbara's water broke. The house was a flurry of excitement and panic as the couple quickly packed a hospital bag and all the essentials they would need for a possible lengthy hospital stay. Peter was thrilled that he was hours away from being a father. The couple rushed to the hospital in March 2014, weaving in and out of rush hour traffic. When they finally arrived, Peter went to check Barbara in and discovered some startling news. According to the hospital, there was no record of Barbara ever being pregnant. Peter insisted that it must have been a mistake since she'd been coming for all of her prenatal visits. However, the hospital confirmed that they had no records of her pregnancy at all. The hospital staff could tell there was something very suspicious going on and realized Peter might have been duped. They decided to run a full blood workup on Barbara so they could put his mind at ease and have some tangible evidence. And let's just say the results of the blood test were shocking. With the results in hand, the nurse notified the couple that Barbara was experiencing what they called a phantom pregnancy. Even though her body was showing physical signs of being pregnant, it was only in her mind. There were never quintuplets. It was all a complete farce. To say Peter was crushed would be an understatement. In a single moment, his dream of being a father completely evaporated. One psychologist, Suzy Levesque from the University of Quebec, revealed to the Toronto Sun that phantom pregnancies were quite rare and usually occur in women who crave some sort of validation. The lady seems to be seeking benefits, but unconsciously, Levesque stated. She's drawing attention to herself. The doctors at the hospital determined that Barbara was quite troubled and decided to detain her for psychiatric evaluation. While there was no medication to help with mental symptoms of a phantom pregnancy, therapy and the use of mental health specialists have been successful in the past. However, some of Barbara's family members weren't sympathetic to her mental condition. In fact, many believed that she had never believed she was pregnant, pulling the wool over Peter's eyes all for attention. Could it be possible someone was that malicious? Apparently, yes. One family member who wished to remain anonymous revealed that she had pulled the same sort of stunt years prior. This isn't the first time she's done it, but honestly, we never would have thought she was sick enough to do it again. According to another family member, no one in the family had been notified she was pregnant, especially not with quintuplets. It's believed Barbara cut the family off in order to plot out her shenanigans without family interference. That way, no one could reveal her lies. When news of the quintuplet farce began to make waves in the news and on social media, one of Barbara's ex-boyfriends came forward with a very similar story. It seemed that he had also dealt with a pregnancy scheme that broke his heart. According to the ex, Barbara had told him she was pregnant with twins, and they went through the same situation, only for the hospital to reveal she'd never been pregnant. It seemed Barbara had a real knack for lying and creating situations that simply didn't exist. Another relative revealed to the media that besides the fake pregnancy scam, Barbara was known to fake terminal illnesses. In fact, she'd once turned the family upside down when she revealed she had cancer and a heart condition. Of course, neither of those claims turned out to be true. Thankfully, with Barbara now locked up and getting psychiatric care, the family hopes they can avoid more hurt and pain. It's totally unfair what she's done to these innocent men. Hopefully, she can now get the help she so desperately needs. As for Peter, the blow of the pregnancy not being real was almost too much to bear. He fell into a deep depression, unable to process how he'd been lied to for nearly 9 months by the woman he had trusted and loved. For the unsuspecting man, it was the ultimate form of betrayal. He had even picked out names for the 5 babies and had worked extra hours to save for their arrival. However, he now had to deal with the fallout of Barbara's lies and sort through all the gifts they'd been bestowed by friends. Hoping to find peace and unwilling to keep the baby gifts, Peter plans to return everything to the people who had been so gracious to him. Anything left over, he would donate to people who needed them more. What a tragic turn of events. Thankfully, Peter hasn't given up hope and believes that one day he'll meet the right woman and have the chance to be the father he always wanted to be. We suggest the next time a woman claims she's pregnant, he attends all the prenatal appointments to avoid future heartbreak. Check out these other videos from Let Me Know. If you haven't made the move to subscribe to our channel, all you need to do is click on that red subscribe button. Thank you for watching.